I'm just trying to now audible. How about now? Audible? No. Wait. Now audible? अब कैसा चल रहा है? Yes, sir. Now audible. Very nice. So Shikha Jogi is here. Wow. Malika Acharya. Thank you so much. Huh. So everyone, we are in GST Park. So I have to give my introduction again. Wow. Very nice. Yes, sir. You are audible. Thank you so much. Huh. So here, everybody, welcome back to the GST revision lecture. So we are going to start with GST ka revision, and I'm your teacher. I'm not your teacher. I'm your guide. So I'll be showing you the path here. So in this GST park mein, so it is a park here and there is a way and we have to go in that way. So I'm just showing you the way here. Okay? How about your Josh? How's the Josh? I'm just looking at your excitement. What is the excitement level here? Too much high? Car. Everyone. So this is a GST park. So in this park, there is a way. I am just showing you the ways here. And the GST park. Very good. So we are starting with, so what is the roadmap, sir, for next 3, very high. Okay. What is the roadmap here? For 3 days, how we are going to cover up the syllabuses. So in this syllabus, we are going to cover up in 3 days. So I've just shown you the map here. So day 1 mein, what we are doing, day 1 is this day. In this day, what we are doing, it is supply. So we are getting to know about what is the taxable event in GST. GST mein taxable event. See, earlier we had VAT. So VAT Act was there, excise tax was there, so service tax was there. So in that, the taxable event were different. In case of VAT, it was sale. In case of excise tax, it was manufacturing. Correct? No. In case of service tax, it was giving service, provision of service. Too many sections, too many chaos, too many confusions. So here we are in GST, one nation, one tax rule, that is GST. In GST, we are discussing about goods as well as service. So in this GST, the taxable event is supply. So the first topic that we are going to discuss is about supply. Once you know what you are doing is a supply or not, now we have to get to know, sir, whether I have to pay the GST or not. Yes or no? I have to pay the GST provided I can collect and pay the GST provided I am a registered person. So then who will be considered as registered person, sir? That we are discussing in today's session, which is registration chapter. In registration, we are going to discuss about that. Section number 22, 23, 24, 25. So we are not going in depth about 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So what is 22, 23, 24, 25? You must be knowing by now. 22 is about who is liable. 23 is about who is not liable. 24 is about compulsory registration. 25 is about what are the procedures of registration that we are discussing. And 26 is about deemed registration. 27 is about NRTP. 28 is amendment. 29 is cancellation of your registration. 30 is about revocation of cancellation of registration. So that obviously we cannot cover it up in the detail, but I have provided one in this GST Park. No, we have some pages. In that pages, we are going to discuss about in just, not in too much. So you know what you have to do if there are too many things here. Okay, so just go through the chapters, and if you have any doubts, then you can ask me. Okay, so that is about registration chapter. Sir, yes sir, once we have registered, later what we have to do? अब क्या करेंगे sir? आगे जाएंगे ना? Pay करेंगे. How to pay it? So charge of GST. Next, we are going to discuss about charge of GST in today's class. Today's session, we are going to discuss about this. Section number 9.1, section number 9.2, section number 9.3 and 9.5. Sir, 9.4 is not there? No. In your syllabus, section number 9.4 and 9.5, both are not there. Section number 9.4 is about reverse charge in case of some suppliers, in case of some goods. Some goods, specifically some suppliers, for them there is reverse charge. So that Section number 9(4) we are not going to discuss here. We are going to discuss about section number 9 subsection 4 and section number 9 subsection 5 in detail in CA finals में. So that was about charge of GST. We will discuss. Okay. So this will be today's roadmap. Sir, what will happen tomorrow? Tomorrow, easy concepts, which are time of supply and value of supply. Section number 12, 13, time of supply in case of goods, time of supply in case of service. Section number 13. Section number 15, 1, 2, 3. So there are many subsections here. But in your syllabus, we are having section number 15, subsection 1, subsection 2, subsection 3. 1 is about what is the value of supply. 2 is about what are the inclusions in the value of supply. 3 is about what are the exclusions in the value of supplies. So that we are going to discuss some summary part. Okay, once in a quick go. So later in tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about tax invoice. Sir, I came to know that what is the charge that I have to pay and at what time I have to pay. Okay, time of supply and value of supply. At what price I have to pay the GST, sir. So that we are going to discuss in tomorrow's class. Once we know what I have to pay and what price I have to pay it and what is the charge, once I get to know about this, soon we are going to know about what are the rules for invoices. Tax invoice ka rule kya hai? So that we will be discussing. So that is in tax invoice section number 31, 32, 33 and 34. So section number 31, 32, 33, 31 is about what are the rules of tax invoices. 32 is about prohibition. 33 is about you can collect more or not. So like this. So how much you can collect, that we were discussing. Section number 34 is about the debit notes and credit notes. So that we will be discussing. Later, the important Jan of your GST classes. GST classes ka Jan, what is that? This is ITC. So we'll be discussing about ITC here. You know what is ITC, correct? No, ITC is about input tax credit. So GST came in because of one important reason, that is ITC. Earlier, for many of the things, you are not getting ITC. You are not getting the ITC, but now you are getting ITC for many of the supplies. So we'll be discussing what are the supplies in which we are getting the ITC and what are the rules of ITC, that we'll be discussing. And section number 16 is about rules. Section number 17 is about how to apportion everything and blocked credit. Section number 17 may blocked credit, and section number 18 is about some of the other rules. Last but one, that is payment of taxes. Section number 49 and 50, how to pay the taxes. What are the rules of taxation? So what are the rules of taxation, that we'll be discussing. And lastly, returns chapter. In case of returns, we will be discussing about, sir, I know everything. I have given invoice as well. So now I need to know, so how to file the return. What is filing the return? By now you will be knowing what is filing the return. Many of the students, what they do know, they will skip this chapter. But I tell you, students, you are not supposed to skip the chapter. Why? Because, arey baapre, you know what are the syllabus. What is the syllabus? That you know. But you don't write the exam. Arey, pass kaise ho gaya yaar? So you don't pass, no. So that's why I tell you that you are a student, you study the subject, you know the concepts, you have to write the exam. Writing the exam is nothing but filing your return. If you don't file your return, kya hoga? Government will not get to know that whether you are doing business or not. So only communication between you and government is returns. You have supplied, sir, that you know. Government is not knowing about this. You have charged the GST, you did collect the GST, you have to pay the GST, that you know. Government is not knowing about this. So that's why you have collected it and you have to pay it. The government has to know, na? For that purpose, you have to give an intimation. That intimation is about, not intimation, a communication. That communication is in that returns. So here we are going to discuss about GSTR 1, GSTR 3B in detail. All other things, I am just going to touch up the concepts and I just see that you know about all these things. Okay, so that we'll be discussing. And people, exemption chapter, no, a very big one. So what I am doing, if it is possible, then we are going to touch up about some of the important topics in the GST. If it is not possible, then I'll be planning to make one separate video and I'll put it on the YouTube. Okay? Yes, everyone will start. So this is about our GST Park. So GST Park में अंदर जाएंगे क्या? चलें? Everyone, talk. हाँ. Comment box में yes sir, I want yes in comment box. Harry, I know that people, happy Ganesh Chaturthi. You all are waiting for Ganesh Chaturthi celebration in Trisha classes. I know, I'll be here. We'll meet here. Okay? Huh. But you know one thing? The biggest festival is the day when you get the pass to let the pass. How many letters? 3 letters, 4 letters. Huh? So you have to get pass, no? That 4 letters, that is the biggest festival that we do. And obviously, Ganesh Chaturthi, one of the biggest Hindu this festival, मनाएंगे ना, उसको मनाएंगे, कैसे मनाएंगे? So how to do it? With knowledge, good knowledge. And we know that Ganadhesh, Ganapati, Vidyadipati hai wo. So definitely he'll bless us all with the Ganpati Deva, Ganpati ka blessing. We are going to start now. It is chapter, the first topic of today's session, that is supply. So we are going to start with supply now. Chapter supply, we are going to start. So before going to discuss about the supply, first we will be doing what is goods and service tax. See, to know about goods and service tax, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि what is goods. First, we will discuss section number 2, subsection 52, what is goods. A quick recap. People, you should be with me. Huh? You should not be roaming here and there. Don't keep your mobile phone somewhere else and you are studying. No, that is not studies. That is time pass. Don't do it. Take it very seriously. If you get any doubts, please do ask me. I'm so sorry. I'm touching mic. Some disturbance. I'm so sorry. So here we are going to discuss about the GSTs. And one request to you, please keep your mobile phone near to you. Take one book, take a pencil or a pen, go on writing something just to keep yourself awake. Okay? Do it. And don't be like, Ranganatha. My students know what is Ranganatha pose. So some of the students are taking mobile phone, keeping mobile phone like this, and you are studying as if Ranganatha, like this, on the sofa set. Don't do it. People, don't do it. How you sit for your examination? So how do you sit in the exam hall? Same posture you have to maintain for studies as well. Don't do it. I know that this is 7 baje morning, 7:22 it is, 7:30 somewhere. So if you are, I know that it is very difficult to you. But again, I tell you that very much required one. Take it, please do take it seriously. Okay. Here, first thing that we are going to discuss is goods. So the goods may, yes. What is goods, sir? As per section number 2, subsection 52. Goods are anything which is movable from one place to another place. So if something that is movable from one place to another place, we call it as goods. Movable. Example, AC ka remote can be moved from one place to another place. That is movable goods. No, it will become goods. Section number 252 says that anything which is movable from one place to another place, it is goods. Okay? But it will not include money, sir. Money. Okay. Money, kanchana. Money. It is in your pocket, no? That 100 rupees ka note. You can transfer it from one place to another place. Sir, will it become goods? No. It is not the goods. Why it is not the goods? I'll tell you something. It will create a never-ending loophole. Loop. Never end, not loophole. Loop. It will create one loop. What is the loop, sir? See, I sold you mobile phone. मैंने आपको mobile phone को भेजा है. So now what you will do? बेच दिया ना. So you will pay me. So this is goods, movable, no? It is movable from one place to another place. Now you are giving me the money. Arey, that also became goods, na? If it is there in the goods definition, that is also the goods. You give me the goods, I have to pay the GST. Now I paid you money, that is also goods. You have to pay me the GST. Arey, this is never ending. This is never ending. That's why I'm telling you, money is not the goods. Money is out of GST. Securities, that is also out of GST, which is not there in your GST ka definition. That goods ka definition mein securities are not there. These two things are out of GST. But what is included, sir? Actionable claims. Betting, gambling, lottery, all these things are actionable claims on which you can take some actions. Correct? No, lottery you have, you can claim the lottery. You give the lottery uda. So the bumper prize to you. So you got the lottery, you can claim it. So that is actionable claims. What we are discussing here, whether goods or not, sir, there is GST on this or not, that we will discuss later. बाद में सोचेंगे उसको. Now it is goods or not? Yes, actionable claims are goods. What is actionable claim? On which you can take some actions. Actionable claim. Growing crops, grass or things attached to the land or forming part of the land agreed to be severed before or at the time of contract. See, growing crops or grass or things, anything which is attached to the land agreed to be severed. You have to cut it. You have to agree to cut that. Severed or separated from the ground. Only then it will become goods. Are babre. So what is there? No. So I have a land. In that land, there is one mango tree. So there is one land. In that land, no, there is one mango tree. Now I am not agreeing to separate it from the land. I agree that I will sell you this land. I am agreeing to sell this land to you. I am not agreeing to separate this. Will it become goods? No. Only when you agree to separate it, only then it will become goods. So this is the definition of goods here. Can we recall it once again, revise it once again? What is goods, sir? Section number 2, subsection 52, anything which is movable except money and securities. So money and securities, but includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass or things attached to the land or forming part of the land which are agreed to be severed. Separation is required before or at the time of contract. Clear? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In case, so we know that we have to pay the GST. GST is required. For that, first requirement is you have to see whether it is goods. Sir, what if it is not the goods? Then check whether it is service. Service hai kya? So first, the thing is, if it is not the goods, sir, then ab kya karenge, sir? Chalo, check whether it is service. How to check, sir? Section number 2, subsection 102. Section number 2, subsection 52 is about goods. Section number 2, subsection 102 is about service. Now we will discuss what is service, sir. Section number 2, subsection 102. It is about service. People, you are in class, no? People don't go here and there. Please be in the class. Anything other than goods, money, securities. See, which is not the goods, that should be service. But that service also excludes money and securities. So these are excluded from the money from the definition of service. It is not a service. Money is not a service. And securities are not the service. Sir, yeah, you heard it right. That means from money is not the goods. Money is not the service as well. Then is there GST on money and money? No, because it is not the goods. It is not the service. So there is no GST on money. Second one, securities. Sir, it is not the goods, sir. It is not the service, sir. Is there any GST on this? No. On services as the security as well, there is no GST. There is no GST on this. It is out of GST, thrown out of GST. Money and securities are neither goods nor service. That's why there is no GST on this. Clear hai? Yes. So now, but includes use of money. Money is not the goods or service, sir. But use of money is the goods, is the service. Example, you go to bank and you ask for a loan. So you are getting one loan, you got the loan, and the banks, no, they are charging some processing fees. On that processing fees, there is GST. Why? Because example, see, you got 10 lakh rupees as the loan and they are putting some processing charges of, example, 30,000 rupees. 30,000 is processing charge. On this processing charge, there is GST. Why there is GST? Because they did give one service to you, that is 10 lakh rupees ka loan. Sir, on this loan, there is GST? No. On this loan, there is no GST. On 10 lakhs, there is no GST, but on 30,000, there is GST. Clear? Yes, sir. That is use of money and its conversion from one form to another. There is GST on conversion from one form to another, one currency to another currency, one denomination to another denomination. First example for one form to another form. For example, you have 10,000 rupees in your pocket as the cash. You have 10,000 rupees as the cash and you gave this cash to the bank and you got one DD. DD on that 50 rupees, there is GST, not on 10,000. You had 10,000 rupees. You gave this 10,000 to the bank. Bank gave you DD. Bank gave you DD. DD pay, there is some charges. What you have to pay now? 10,050. You have to pay 10,050 to the bank. That 50 rupees is service charge. On this 50 rupees, there is GST. Why? Because that is the service that they are providing you. That's why there is GST on that 50 rupees. Okay, that is from one form to another form. Now, one currency to another currency. You had rupees. You have rupees. Now we are going to US. You have to convert this rupees into dollars. That is from one currency to another currency. Now the bank will charge some amount for this currency conversion. This currency conversion is nothing but a service which is given to you. So that is, on that there is GST. So on that there will be GST, people. So you have to remember that from one currency to another currency, there is GST. Next one, from one denomination to another denomination. Now, what is this denomination, sir? You had 2000 rupees note. Chutta chahiye, sir. So you want 10,000 to, you have not 10,000 rupees notes here. Where is 10,000 rupees note? So there is 2,000 rupees note. You have 5 2,000 rupees notes. So that 2,000 rupees notes, no? No. Okay. If you think that you have only one 2,000 rupees note, that 2,000 rupees note ka chutta chahiye. That is chiller chahiye mujhe. So I want change. So I give this 2,000 rupees note to someone, and that person is giving me 100 rupees ka 20 notes. 100 rupees ka 20 notes that he is giving me, that he is providing me. So don't you think he has given me one service? Yes, no? Yes. So he has given me one service here. That service is nothing but the service which is mentioned in section number 2, subsection 102. So it is a service. On that there is GST or not? Yes, sir. So here we get to know that from one denomination to another denomination is also some charge here. There is GST on this? Yes, people. Yes, there is GST. So what we have discussed now, just to charge GST, it should be a goods. Sir, if it is goods, then there is GST. We will think of GST ka some provisions. Okay. So now if it is not the goods, then it should be service. Sir, if it is service, then there is GST. We will think about whether there is GST or not. So GST ka provisions are applicable. So now if it is not the goods, then we have to check whether it is service. If it is not the service, sir, then there is no GST. Obviously, GST ka provisions are not applicable. It should be goods or it should be service. Okay? So what we discussed so far, whether it is goods or service. So if it is goods and if it is service, then there will be GST on that. GST ka provisions will be applicable. Now we will discuss about what is the meaning of supply. Ek minute, bachcho. Okay. What is the meaning of supply here? Supply mane to, sir? Supply, it is a taxable event. Supply means a taxable event. So if there is supply, then the provisions of GST are applicable. Now the question is, what is the meaning of supply? Section number 7. Section number 7 mein we are discussing about what is supply. What is supply? A taxable event in GST which attracts the tax. That will be considered as supply. What is supply? Again, it is a taxable event that attracts the tax. That is considered as supply. Okay. So now what are supplies? Supply is explained in section number 7, subsection 1, clause A, B, C. We are going to discuss about section number 7, subsection 1, clause A, B, and C. Yeah. Kiran, you are right. Sir, but for giving the change, they will do it for free, right? Yes, they will do it for free. If there is any charge, then there is GST. If there is a charge, okay, then there is GST. Okay, now section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. That is, what are the forms of supply? What are the forms of supply, sir? First one, DSLR belt. Now you might ask me, sir, what is DSLR belt? This is the mnemonics which I have given to it. So D stands for disposal. D stands for disposal. Ek minute. Disposal. D stands for disposal. S for sale. L for license. L for license. B for barter. Barter. E for exchange. E for exchange. L for lease. Lease. T for transfer. Okay. You are getting this, people? So what is DSLR belt, sir? Disposal. Sale. It can be license. It can be rental. Sorry, R stands for rental. R for rental it is. So you are giving it for disposal and sale, lease, rental, barter, exchange, license, transfer. You name it, it is there in section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. So you name it, it is there in your section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. That means it will be a supply provided, made or agreed to be made. So you have done it already or you have just agreed to do it. And For a consideration, people, very important one, for a consideration. If there is no consideration, there is no supply as per section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. You might get the doubt, sir, we have studied that whether even though there is no consideration, it will be considered as supply. We will discuss that later. Right now, section number 7, subsection 1, clause A says that DSLR belt that you are doing, no? You are doing DSLR belt. For a consideration, there should be consideration. If there is no consideration, then there is no GST. It is not a supply. It is said by section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. Remember, DSLR belt made or agreed to be made for a consideration. Consideration has to be there, sir. Yes. Right now, keep this in mind. Consideration has to be there. Otherwise, it is not a supply. In the course or furtherance of the business. So you should have the business of that work. Now, I go for a trip. I sell some goods there. I'm not giving him the invoice. Is it will it be my supply? No, it is not my supply. It should be my business. If it is my business, only then it will be considered as supply. Otherwise, bachcho, remember, it is not supply. Okay. So you have to remember that. See, what is supply as per section number 7, subsection 1, clause A? Any form DSLR belt made or agreed to be made for a consideration. There should be a consideration. If there is no consideration, there is no supply. Third one, for a business. You should be doing the business of it. Simply you sold some. Example, I had one jewelry. Example, this jewelry. I am selling it to Anubaran Jewelers. Some jewelry work. So I am selling that to one jewelers. So in that case, will there be GST on this? Is it a supply, sir? No, it is not supply, because giving audit. So doing audit is my work. I am a chartered accountant, practicing chartered accountant. Doing audit is my work. So I am not doing any supply of jewelry works here. Okay? So that is one thing. And that should be your business. If it is not your business, it is not a supply. Once again, what is supply? Section number 7, subsection 1, clause A says that all forms DSLR belt. So DSLR belt, that will be considered as supply, provided there should be a consideration and that should be your business. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause A is done. Easy peasy, sir? Yes, it is easy. Next one is that section number 7, subsection 1, clause B. Now, let me tell you, import is also your supply. Sir, actually what happens in forward charge mechanism? See, what is forward charge mechanism? I am the seller of this goods, remote. I am the seller of remote. I sell you the remote. I gave you the remote. I sold you the remote. I take 200 rupees from you. Now, who is the supplier? I am the supplier. I am the supplier. You are the recipient of the supply. You will pay me 200 rupees with the GST. You paid me GST. I am paying GST to the government. What has happened here? You gave me 200 rupees. I gave you 200, one remote. I sold you remote. You gave me 200. Example, plus 10% GST. So now totally you gave me 220 rupees. That 20 rupees on your behalf, which you paid me, I'll give it to the government. This is called as forward charge mechanism. So now, what is reverse charge mechanism? So you have to pay me 200 rupees plus 20 rupees ka GST, but you are not giving me 20 rupees GST. 20 rupees GST that you are not paying me, you are paying on your behalf to the government. I am not paying, but you are paying on your behalf to the government. This will be considered as reverse charge mechanism. What is forward charge? You pay me the GST. On your behalf, I'll pay to the government. That is forward charge. Reverse charge mein, you don't pay me the GST. You only pay to the government. This is reverse charge mechanism. Finish? Yes. In case of import, no, it is reverse charge mechanism. Remember, it is reverse charge mechanism. Why? See, import. Why it is reverse charge? See, supplier has to pay to the government, no? So now in import, who am I? Supplier or buyer? I am the buyer. I purchase the goods and the other person is the supplier. Exporter is the supplier. Government cannot catch exporter. That's why government is catching me. So you are the one who is using that goods. You pay under reverse charge mechanism. Yes. So that is importation of service. People service, not the goods. Service hai ye, goods nahi hai. दिमाग में लगाओ, हाँ, दिमाग लगाओ, हाँ. For consideration, if there is no consideration, there is no supply, that we already discussed now. There are exceptions. We will discuss about the exceptions later. So for a consideration, whether or not for business purpose, arey baap re, if it is your business or not your business. So what is there in section number 7, subsection 1, clause B? Importation of service for a consideration, whether or not for the business purpose. You are taking this, you are using this for the business purpose or not for the business purpose. This will be considered as supply. That is your supply. You are the importer. Yes. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause B is done. What is there in section number 7, subsection 1, clause B? Importation. Remember this. Importation of service for a consideration, whether or not for the business purpose. Your example, my brother, who is a lawyer. My brother is a lawyer in other country. I am taking legal services from that person. Legal services from that person. I paid some amount to that person. Will there be a GST? Yes, there is GST. Who has to pay? Me, under reverse charge mechanism. I have to pay under reverse charge mechanism, because see, importation of service, hua na, service to hai na, lawyer services, it's importation of service. Second one, it is whether or not for the business purpose. I did not mention that for what purpose I am taking that lawyer legal services. I am not mentioning that. Even then, it will be a importation, that will be a supply. And for a consideration, example, I paid him $200. I paid him $200. That is for a consideration. Will it be considered as supply? Yes, sir. It will be considered as supply. Okay. Section number 7, subsection 1. What you have to remember? Importation of service for a consideration, whether or not for the business of service. Importation, services, whether or not for the business purpose. Consideration should be there. Yes, sir. So now we are going for, see, till now what we discussed, for a consideration. Here also very important one, for a consideration. Here also for a consideration. Sir, can there be any supply? There is no consideration. Still it will be considered as supply, sir. Yes, that we are going to discuss in section number 7, subsection 1, clause C. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause C, which will be schedule 1. We call it as deemed supply. So section number 7, subsection 1, clause C, we are considering it as a deemed supply where there is no consideration. So there is no consideration in all these cases. So remember that deemed supply mein, what is deemed supply? There is no consideration in deemed supply. That's why it is deemed supply. Deemed it is. You think that it is a supply. Remember that PRAI. What is this? PRAI. Schedule 1, section number 7, subsection 1, clause C, PRAI, that stands for P, for permanent transfer or disposal of the assets, business assets, for which ITC has been availed. You have already availed the ITC on this. First one. R stands for you are purchasing something, or you are transferring the goods from one person to another person, and you are related persons. Related person, in that case, it will be considered as deemed supply. We will discuss who are related person, that we are going to discuss. A stands for agent. If you are an agent, in this case also, there will be some deemed supply between principal and agent. So that we are discussing here. And lastly, I, importation of services. PRAI, P for permanent transfer or disposal of the asset, R for related person, between the related person, A for agent, I for import, P for permanent transfer or disposal of the asset on which ITC is availed. ITC, don't miss ITC, 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 ITC. Don't miss ITC. If you have availed ITC, only then it is deemed supply. PR, related person, R for related person, A for agent, I for import, P for permanent transfer, R for related person, A for agent, I for import. Keep this in mind. There are 4 transactions which will be considered as supply, even though there is no consideration. First one, we'll discuss about first one, which is permanent transfer or disposal of the assets. ITC availed on such assets. Now, there is no, remember that there is no consideration. Huh? If there is no consideration, then section number 7, subsection 1, clause B, previous sections, clause A, clause B, these 2 things won't apply. There is no consideration. Those 2 sections will not apply. Directly you have to check now whether section number 7, subsection 1, clause C is applicable. Permanent transfer. Example, I have purchased this asset. I am not selling this asset. I am giving this as free, Baba. There is no consideration on this. Yes or no? There is no consideration on this. Then will it be considered as supply? Yes. It will be considered as supply only if I have taken ITC on this. Now remember, you are the consumer of the goods. GST is on whose head? whose burden it is? GST is the burden of consumer. GST is the burden of consumer. People remember, GST is the burden of consumer. You are consuming one asset. You are the one who has to take care of payment of the GST. Now think, I have purchased this mobile phone and I have given it free. I have given it free. Don't you think I am consuming this? Yes. In the eyes of GST, I am consuming this asset. So I have given it free or I am using this. I am consuming. If I am consuming the asset, it is the burden of the consumer. It is my burden, no? In that case, I cannot take ITC. ITC for consumer, ITC is not available. You know this. We have already discussed about this. You know this in the ITC ka chapter. We will discuss. Okay. So ITC is not available for the consumer. That means you have taken ITC and you have given it free. That means government ka money aapne cheen liya na. So you cannot do this. Na babana, you cannot do this. So that if you have taken ITC, then this given as free, no? So you have given this asset as free. We will consider it as deemed supply. There is GST on deemed supply, sir? Yes. Yes, there is GST on deemed supply. That means, can I collect it from the person who to whom I have given this free of cost? No, you cannot collect. Why? Because, see, you are giving this mobile phone as free gift, and you are collecting GST from that person. This mobile is free, sir. You have to pay me the GST. He might think you are mad. Correct? No. So in that case, pagal samjhega wo. So that's why you are giving it free, no? You cannot collect GST. Sir, I did not collect GST, then I have to pay you. Government, I have to pay you. Yes, you have to pay from where, sir? Out of your pocket. From pocket, you have to pay this. This is permanent transfer or disposal of the asset. See, consideration is not there, but still you are giving the goods free of cost. You are getting nothing in this. But you became the consumer. If you have taken ITC, then this is consideration. If you have not taken ITC, then this is not the consideration. Simple part, people. See, you have purchased the goods and you have given it as free. Free, Baba. Huh? Free. This is you and you have purchased the goods. This is your purchase. This is your purchase. You have purchased the goods and you have given it as free and you have claimed ITC. ITC you have claimed. Then this free, no, this will be considered as supply. This will be considered as supply. Remember, this will be considered as supply. What if I have not taken ITC, sir? On this goods, no, I have not taken ITC, then it is not supply. Then it won't be considered as supply. Clear? Clear hai ye? Yes. If you have taken ITC, then giving free, no, that will be considered as supply. If you have not taken ITC, then it will not be considered as supply. Easy peasy? Yes, sir. That is about P. Next one is R. Related person. So here, transfer or disposal of the asset, disposal, transfer to a related or distinct person as per section number 25, subsection 4 and subsection 5. First, we will discuss who is distinct person. See, there is one person who is having two branches. One person, one is having a branch in Udupi, the other branch is in Mangalore. So two branches are there, sir. Two separate registration is taken under section 25. You have taken two separate registration under section 25. In this case, these two guys will be considered as what? Deemed distinct person. See, PAN is one. PAN is same, but registration is different. You have taken different registrations. In that case, these two guys will be considered as distinct person. Even though managed by two branches, two registration will be considered as deemed distinct person. Deemed distinct person. In case of deemed distinct person, there is GST, there is supply. If any transfer, goods are transferred from Udupi branch to Mangalore branch. Goods are transferred from Udupi branch to Mangalore branch. This will be considered as supply. Why, sir? Because two registrations are different registrations. That is under section 25 subsection 4. Two registrations are different. You are considered as deemed distinct person. Section number 25 subsection 5. What it says, example, you have one registration in Udupi. There is one more branch in Gujarat. You have one branch in Gujarat which is not registered. This is registered, sir. Because of the state border, no, you will be considered as distinct person. That is as per section number 25, subsection 5. Deemed distinct person. One may you have registration. In other case, you don't have registration. Registration nahi hai. In that case, you will be considered as deemed distinct person. So in that case, any transfer of goods from one registration to another person, deemed distinct person, it will be considered as supply, even though there is no consideration. This is about para number 2 of the schedule number 1. Schedule 1, para number 2 says this. Now, what is there in schedule number 1, para number 3? So now we are going to discuss about para number 3 here. So transfer to an agent where invoice is drawn on such agent. So the agent who is there, no, who is drawing, that person is drawing the invoice on himself. I'll give you one example. See, there is principal here. There is one principal. That principal, no, he is giving some goods to the agent. Now, agent is supplying these goods to the buyer. Now, who is this? Principal. This person is agent. This person is buyer. Transfer of goods. Now, this agent, no, selling the goods. This agent is selling the goods to the buyer. Agent is selling the goods to the buyer. Now, agent will draw the invoice. He will write that supplier is agent. Who is the supplier? Agent. Who is the recipient? Is buyer. Now, the sale has happened between A and B. Now, in case of law, mercantile law, we studied that to sell this, no, there are some exceptions. Mercantile agent is an exception. I might be wrong in this, but again, just to remember, just for remembrance purpose, keep this in mind. So, if a person is giving goods to other person, then he should be a owner, no? Otherwise, kahan se aayega? Goods kahan se aayega? It will fall from the wind, from above? No. So, if you are selling means there should be some goods, you have got this. So, now if agent has got the goods from principal and if agent is raising invoice in his own name, agent is raising invoice in his own name, then the supply between principal and agent will be considered as supply. The transfer of the goods between agent and principal is considered as supply. Understood? So what is happening here? Agent giving goods to the buyer, selling the goods to the buyer, and he raised the invoice in his own name. In that case, the transfer of the goods from principal to the supplier will be considered as what? That is supply. What if this agent, no, he is raising the invoice in the name of the principal? He is raising the invoice in the name of the principal, and principal, it is nothing but principal selling the goods to the buyer. Agent is just an intermediary. He is there in between the principal and the buyer. Agent is just an intermediary. He is raising the invoice in the name of principal. In that case, the supply is between principal and the buyer, not between the agent. There is no the transfer. There is no supply between the principal and agent. Now you must be clear. What is the clearing part here? To be clear, agent, principal gave some goods to agent. Agent gave the goods to the buyer. Agent supplied the goods, transferred, sale of the goods from agent to the buyer. So that transfer mein, he has given some goods, no, and the invoice is raised by this agent, is raising the invoice in his own name. If he raises the invoice in his own name, then the transfer between principal and agent will be considered as deemed supply. Because he sold the goods, to sell the goods, he should be the owner. To become the owner, he should have purchased it from someone else. The principal is giving the goods, no, this goods will be considered as supply. What if the supply which is done by, sale which is done by the agent to the buyer, agent is doing some supply to the buyer, no, and he is raising the invoice in the name of principal. Now it is the supply between principal and buyer. Their intermediary, he is just an intermediary, dummy piece it is. So that's why there is no supply between principal and agent. This is about A, agent here. Now what happens in case of I? Very, very, very important one. I ka case, let me explain. So this is importation of service. Already, sir, we have discussed already about importation of service. Importation of service, section number 7, subsection 1, clause C. Importation of service, that is supply, that is for a consideration. This is not for a consideration. This is not for a consideration. If you remember, see section number 7, subsection 1, section number 7, subsection 1, clause B, which says that importation of service for consideration, whether or not for business, whether or not for business. That is section number 7, subsection 1B. What we are discussing here, section number 7, subsection 1, clause C, paragraph number 4. Schedule 1, paragraph number 4, which says that importation of service. Yes, sir. Importation, importation. Service, service. not for a consideration. There it was for consideration. Here it is not for a consideration. There whether or not for the business, but here only for business. You have to take this service only for the business purpose. Remember, there are 5 conditions should be satisfied to fall in schedule number 1. Paragraph number 4. Importation of service not for a consideration from a related person, or own establishment which is there outside India, from a related person. And the 4th important one is that for business purpose. These are the 5 important conditions. Importation, services, not for a consideration, for business purpose, and lastly, from a related person. It should be from a related person. So only then it will be considered as supply. I'll give you one example. The example is that me taking some services from my brother who is there outside India. Now question is, sir, who is related person? First, we will discuss who is this related person. Later, we'll come back to this point again. Related person are employer, employee. That is related person. Holding and subsidiary companies are related persons. Legal partners. Who are legal partners here? Legal partners are nothing but now the partnership deed that has to be registered. Registered partnership deed. These are legal partners. Spouse and children. They are anyhow related persons. Spouse, my wife. Or there is one lady, her husband, spouse. Spouse is the partner. So that person is also related person. And children, by default, they are the related person. But in case of parents, grandparents, that is also there. Grandparents, parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters. So parent, grandparent, brothers and sisters, they are your related person only if they are dependent. See, spouse and children not required they should be dependent. It is not required they should be dependent. But in case of these guys, no, who are these guys? This my pencil battery. Pencil ka battery is very less. Okay, people, one second. Okay, we'll see. So brothers, dependent parents, brothers and sisters. So dependent, they should be dependent brother and sister, and parents, grandparents. These 4 people should be the dependent on you. Only then they are related person. Okay. Now, sir, if they are related person, in that case, importation of services from a related person for business purpose. If these 4 things are there, then it will be considered as supply. Now, in my example, I have taken some services, legal services from the other person, my brother, who is there outside India. In other country, he is there. No, so he is taking some. I am taking some services from him for which I have not given any consideration. Now, what you have to see whether he is a related person. Now, my brother is dependent, then it is a supply. If it is not dependent, then it is not a supply. Importation of service, my brother is dependent, then that is a supply. If he is not dependent, then it is not a supply. This is about section number 7, subsection 1, clause C, schedule number 1. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is schedule 2, section number 7, subsection 1A, schedule 2. Very easy one. Whether it is, see what we have discussed so far, whether it is goods or not. Section number 2, subsection 52. Goods. Sir, if it is goods, then you have to check whether it is supply. Sir, it is not goods, sir. Then look at whether it is supply. Section number 2, subsection 102. Whether it is supply. Yes, if it is supply, then check whether it is supply. It is service. If it is service, then check whether it is supply. Sir, no, sir, it is not service. Then there is no GST. Tension nahi lene ka rahe mamu. There is no GST on this. Sir, if it is service or goods, then you have to check whether it is supply. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. All forms of transfer, barter, everything. So that will be considered as supply if there is consideration, and whether or not for a business. In the course or furtherance of the business, that will be supply. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause B is about importation. In case of importation, that will be a supply. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause C, that we discussed just now, that is deemed supply. If there is no consideration, then it will be a supply. There are 4 paragraphs in this. PRAI, permanent transfer or disposal of the asset on which ITC is taken. ITC has to be availed. So that is section number 7, subsection 1, clause C. and schedule number 1, para number 4, para number 1. Para number 2 is about R. If you are transferring goods from between the related person, that will be a supply. That will be a supply. Who are related person now? Distinct person or related person? Distinct person, section number 25, subsection 4, section number 25, subsection 5. Later, we discussed about para number 3, which is about PRA, agent. Agent, the transfer between principal and agent will be considered as supply if agent is selling the goods to the buyer and invoice is raised by this agent on his own name. Only then the transfer between principal and agent will be considered as supply. Otherwise, it's not supply. Next one is about importation. There are 5 conditions has to be satisfied. The schedule number 1, para number 4, importation mein. In case of importation, importation of service for not for a consideration from a related or own establishment outside India for business purpose. You should have taken only for business purpose. Yes, sir. Now we are going to discuss about section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. People, I hope this is going good. Am I too fast? No, no. I'm not fast, right? Yes. So we'll go further. People, you have studied already once. So I'm giving too much explanation actually. Actually, I'm giving too much of explanations. Here. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause A. That we are discussing now. Schedule number 2. Now we have to see, sir, it is supply. It is supply. Whether it is supply of service or supply of goods. That I should know, no? Sir, kya baat kar rahe ho, sir? If it is goods, then it is supply of goods, sir. If it is service, then it is supply of service, sir. Baat pakki hai na, simple hai baat. But lekin it is not like that. There are some dilemmas that you might get. For example, you go to restaurant. So restaurant mein that person is offering you some meal. Now my question is whether it is goods or service. Goods hai ya service? Some say that, sir, it is not goods, sir. It is service because the main work is cooking there. Cooking, master chef. That chef is preparing something, no? That ingredients, so that in the right mixture, right proportion, right amount of roasting that should be there, and he's doing some chalak there. All these things are required, no, sir. That is service, sir. But some people say that, no, sir, it is not service. Why we are going to restaurant? To have food, sir. Food is good, sir. That dilemma, these kind of dilemmas and confusions were there. That's why government gave one schedule 2. Some of the services, some of the things where you had dilemmas, that we are clearing it out, whether it is supply of goods or supply of service. They gave some rule. That rule is there in this schedule. Schedule number 2, paragraph number 1, which is talking about transfer. First one is transfer. It is title. Sir, I am transferring the title. Example, I gave this goods and I transfer the title. Tomorrow onward, this is yours. I gave you the invoice. What is this? Supply of goods. It is supply of goods. SOG, supply of goods. In case I am just giving you the right, this is not your goods, you can use it. But after some time, you have to give it back. So this is transfer of right. In that case, it is supply of service. We know this, correct? No, I'm just giving you one goods for use purpose. I'm not selling you the goods. I'm just giving you the goods for use purpose. In that case, it will be considered as supply of service. Next one is hire purchase ka case. Now, think, I'm giving this goods to you and you are paying me in installment. So now there is one confusion. Sir, you are giving me the service? No, sir. I cannot pay in one lump sum. So that's why you are giving me the service. So in that case, ye kaisa hua ki supply of goods. But government said that it is the major supply in this is supply of goods. So that's why it is supply of goods. Hire purchase, remember, it is supply of goods. Next one, paragraph number 2. In case of land and buildings, yes, yahan aaya hai wo. So some typo, clerical error. Please do adjust. Land and buildings ka case. In case of land and building, lease, tenancy and license of land. See, I'm not selling the land. Land I'm not selling, but just leasing. Tenancy is given. License is given for you to use purpose. Then it is common sense ki baat hai. This is supply of service. Next one, processing on others' goods. Processing. So I give you one goods. Example, I am giving you my laptop. So you are doing some service. You are doing some repairs. See, that laptop, I am selling that laptop to you. No, you did the repair. You gave it back to me. What is this? This is supply of service, people. This is not supply of goods. It will be supply of service. Known fact it is. I am giving you some goods. See, example, I gave you one laptop. You are repairing that and you gave this laptop to me. This is supply of service. Next, I gave you one laptop that is fully kharab ho gaya tha. So I am giving you the laptop so that you tell that, sir, it is no point in doing this laptop, repair of this laptop. So we will give you a new laptop. You use it, sir. So in that case, it will be considered as supply of goods, not supply of service. It is supply of goods. Next one, paragraph number 4, transfer of asset, transfer of business assets. So when you are transferring the business assets, permanent transfer. So I had some business asset, my laptop, that is my business asset. No, my laptop is my business asset. So I am permanently transferring this laptop to you. So then it is supply of goods. Next one, I am not transferring this laptop. I am not transferring the laptop. I am using laptop for 2 months or 3 months. I am using this laptop for my private purpose. So when I use this for my private purpose, in that case, it is required that I have to tear a bill. Invoice has to be taken. This will be considered as supply of service. It is supply of service, but in reality, no one does this. Who will do? I am using iPad for my business purpose as well as for my private purpose. I have to tear bill on myself? No, I won't do it. But actually, we have to do, that is supply of service. When you are using your business asset for private purpose, it is supply of service. If you are using for business purpose, then okay. If you are selling that business asset, then it will be supply of goods. Lastly, taxable person ceases to be a taxable. What is TP? TP stands for taxable person. He ceases. Earlier, he was a taxable person or he was a registered person. Now he is not a taxable person. He ceases to be a taxable person. In that case, it is supply of goods. Why it is supply of goods, sir? I am just stopping my business, no, sir. So in that case, why it is supply of goods? Because see, when you stop your business, you will become the consumer of the goods which is there in your godown. In your godown, there are some goods. If you stop your business, tomorrow onwards, you are not a registered person. If you are not a registered person tomorrow onwards, in that case, it will be considered as what? You are the consumer, no, for those goods. For those goods, that goods will be deemed to be supply. Supply. So this is supply of goods. Okay? Yes. Continue. Paragraph number 5. What is there in paragraph number 5? There are some items which will be exclusively considered as service, supply of service. Which are those? First one, renting of immovable properties. So some immovable properties, the example, this studio. I am giving this studio for you for use purpose, and you are paying me some amount. Immovable property, renting of immovable property, not selling, renting of immovable property, that will be considered as supply of service. Known thing it is. And construction services. So now I am a builder. You pay me some amount, and on your behalf, I am doing some construction here. So that constructions will be considered as supply of service. If you are doing any I am a builder. I am building some building for you. So you are giving me some amount. On your behalf, I am building it here. This will be considered as what? This will be considered as supply of service provided. Section number 7, subsection 2, schedule number 3. So there is schedule number 3, remember? In case of transfer of building, see, I will build it and I will transfer. No, now the question, it is supply of service or supply of goods? There is one condition here. If you remember, we have to see two things here. One is first occupancy of that building. First occupancy. Second one is that first occupancy. After that, we have to discuss about completion certificate. First occupancy or completion certificate, whichever is earlier. If you are, see, I am a builder. If I am receiving from you even 1 rupee before this date, whichever is earlier, no? Earlier, whichever is earlier, before this date. For example, first occupancy is on 2nd of October. Completion certificate is 30th of October. First occupancy, there is one person tenant who is staying in that building. First occupancy is on 2nd of October. 30th October is completion certificate. I am getting completion certificate. You paid me amount 1 rupee. 1 rupee. You have paid me amount 1 rupee, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier in this? 2nd of October is earlier. So you are paying me any amount before October, 2nd of October, even 1 rupee you paid me before October. In that case, yeah. So I am giving you supply. I am giving you the supply of service. What I'm doing here, supply of service. What if you pay me any amount after this? You pay me any amount after this, that will be considered as neither supply of goods nor supply of service. That means it will go to negative list. Pakki hai baat? So what you have to see, crux is that you have to see whichever is earlier. Which is earlier in this? 2nd of October. Anything that you received before October 2nd, Even 1 rupee on that house, if you received even 1 rupee on that house, that will be considered as supply of service. If you receive entire amount after this date, whichever is earlier cut date, if you are receiving entire amount, then it will be considered as supply of, what is this? Supply of, neither supply of goods nor supply of service. Okay. So this is about point number 2. Point number 3, temporary transfer of IPR. Sir, what is IPR? Intellectual property rights. Intellectual property. Temporary, I am transferring you some intellectual property right, brand name, brand image, all these things. Intellectual property, patent, copyrights, trademarks, franchise. These are intellectual property rights. If I am giving that to you, then it is neither supply, it is not supply of goods, it is supply of service. See, temporary transfer is supply of service. Permanent transfer is supply of goods. Supply of goods because it is an actionable claim. Okay, we will discuss about that later. Next one, software related services. Anything, building one software, repairing the software, development of the software, enhancement of the software, anything related to software, which will be considered as supply of service. Obligation to do something, refrain from doing something, or to tolerate something. Example, I ask you to do the dance and you are a good dancer. I told you, you have to do the dance. So I'll pay you some amount for it. So what is this? To do something. What you are giving me? You are giving me the service for which I am giving you the consideration. So this is supply of service. Refrain from doing something. I say that you are my partner. Once you leave the partnership, no, you cannot start the same business. I'll pay you 2 lakh rupees. Same business in this vicinity, you cannot start. Same area, you cannot start. Refrain from doing something. I'm stopping you from acting so. So in that case, I am paying you some amount. This amount will be considered as the service. You are giving me one service now. Refrain from doing, to tolerate something. See, I sold you some goods. Example, this mobile phone I sold you. I sold you the mobile phone. For this mobile phone, you have to pay me 2 lakh rupees. So I say that, sir, within 20 days, you have to pay me. If you don't pay me within 20 days, I'll charge you interest. So after 20 days, no, I am tolerating your activity. You are not paying. I am tolerating that. Raat ko neend nahi aa raha hai yaar. You have to pay me 2 lakh rupees. You have taken the goods and you just escaped. So now I'm tolerating that. That is also service which I'm providing you. For that, I will charge you extra interest. In the form of interest, I'll charge you extra. That extra amount when you are paying, no, that will be considered as service. Lastly, transfer of rights. Transfer of rights, the rights that you are transferring, no, right to use, that will be considered as supply of service. This is paragraph number 5. Very important one was construction. Something related to construction, that was very important one. Yes. Last one, composite supplies, works contract. What is works contract? There is one immovable property on which, example, I'm a painter and you have built one house. On the one new house that you have built. On the so the new house that you have built, no, for that I am going to paint it here. So I'm the painter, I am going to paint. Where while coming to your house, no, I just brought some paints as well and I did painting. Finally, I will charge you 70,000 rupees. I'll charge you 70,000 rupees for painting work, for 2-3 days ka work painting. So this 70,000 includes paint. This is including paint and the service. Both are there. Service is also there. Painting service also I have given, and there is some paints as well. So now, baat kya hai? What happens now in this case? No, whether it is supply of goods or service, sir, it is supply of service. What you wanted was painting, not the paint. Not the paint, you wanted painting, no? That's why any work which is done on the immovable property, which involves goods as well as service, that will be considered as supply of service. It's a works contract. It is supply of service. And restaurant business, that just we discussed, correct? No, whether it is, you got one paneer tikka masala. So now the question is that paneer tikka masala is goods or service, sir? Government says that in section number 7, subsection 1A, capital A, schedule number 2, which says that it is supply of service. It is supply of service. SOS. This is supply of service. Okay? But so that is about section number 7, subsection 1A, schedule number 2. Now we are going to some important one, schedule number 3, section number 7, subsection 2, schedule 3, negative list. Negative list, that is nothing but following are not considered as supply. So there are some following things which are not considered as supply here. Okay, see, bye. No GST, no tension, Remamu. Why no GST, sir? It is not a supply. If it is not a supply, then no tension. Keep it simple, huh? So what are these? First one, okay, how to remember this? I just remember this by these words. See, Glance, 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 BHF. So I remember it as B and H, both are in one entry, but it is not there in your syllabus. Bond to bond transfer and high seas sail, which is not there in your syllabus, but I just included it for your extra knowledge. And lastly, F. BF stands for best friend. Glance your best friend, not boyfriend, people, best friend. Here, glance your best friend. While in the exam hall, no, negative. What are negative lists, sir? Just glance your best friend. So he'll help you. Arey, people, don't help, your students, don't help your fellow mates, because it is an offense. Not an offense, but there will be some strict actions which are taken by the ICAI. You can never imagine. So glance your best friend. Don't glance, just for your remembrance purpose. What is G, sir? Government, act by the government personnel. Example, MLA, MP, prime ministers, all these ministers, they are doing some service. They are also getting some amount for this salary. For that, there is no GST. Why? Because they are not, employees. Even employees ka case mein, it is not a service. Okay. So that is out of GST. Remember, MLA, MP, ministers, prime minister, बच्चों, नरेंद्र मोदी जी जो भी करते हैं ना काम, उनके लिए जो भी लेते हैं उसको, there is no GST. Next one, L. I'm so sorry, I'm very bad in doing mimics. So that you by now my students might be knowing about this. Here, next one is L. Remember land and buildings? We discussed sale of land and buildings. So there, no, section number 7, subsection 1. Just now we discussed that section number 7, subsection 1A. Schedule number 2. There, land and buildings tha, but lekin wo kya tha wo? Land and buildings was about lease, licensing and tenancy. So that is supply of service. And later in section number 7, subsection 1, clause, section number 7, subsection 1A. Schedule number 2. The previous one, previous page, no, there we discussed that paragraph number 5 mein, the first point was renting of immovable property. Renting of immovable property is out of, it is a supply of service. But here, sale it is, people. It's not renting or licensing. It is sale. Sale of land and buildings. It is neither supply of goods nor supply of service. There is no GST on this. Okay, provided in case of buildings. Remember, in case of buildings, if you have received anything before the first occupancy or completion certificate, whichever is earlier, so that date, no, before that you have earned something, that some amount is received, in that case it is supply of service. But entire amount is after this date, then it will be supply, neither supply of goods nor supply of service. Next one is A. What is A? Actionable claims. We know that actionable claims are goods. Section number 2, subsection 52. Actionable claims are goods, but it is neither supply of goods nor supply of service. If you are selling actionable claims, then it is neither supply of goods nor supply of service, except betting, gambling and lottery. In case of betting, gambling and lottery, no, that will be considered as supply of goods. It is supply of goods. But anything other than this, if you are supplying, no, it is neither supply of goods nor supply of service. Next one is court. Here. This is also not there in your syllabus. Syllabus mein nahi hai, but let me explain. Entity to entity. Non-taxable territory to non-taxable territory. For example, I am purchasing some goods from China. Directly, I am sending this to US. So the goods has never entered India from one non-taxable territory. China is non-taxable territory to US. So I am transferring goods from, I purchase goods in China, I am transferring goods to the US. It is neither supply of goods nor supply of service. It's not my service. It's not my supply. Remember, this is not my supply. Next one, why? Because it has not entered India. No. If it is not entering India, India se kya lena dena? Kuch nahi. So goods from one country to another country which is not entering India, there is no GST on this. Next one is court services. Court services. Remember, what are courts now? Here, any body which is established by the government or act. Parliament, act of the act is constituting something. So in that, you go there to the court and you with some problems, issues. Now the court, there will be one judge. Judge is solving your issues, no? That judge will be solving your issues. That is one service given by the court. There you pay the fees. Court fees. People, court fees, not lawyers fees. Lawyers fees nahi hai. I'm talking about court ka fees. So you are paying some amount to the court. In that case, there is no GST. your business का मामला है और personal मामला है, anything it is, there is no GST on that. Court services, there is no GST, but services given by this lawyer, on that there is GST. That we will discuss in exemption ka chapter. Okay, there that you have discussed in exemption chapter, but here remember that in case of court there is no GST. But court mein there are two types of court. One is constituted by the government or law. The second one is arbitral tribunal. Arbitral tribunal, these are private courts. Private court mein there is GST, but court which are constituted by the constitution or the act, some laws for the time being in force, on that laws, no, there is no GST. On that there will be no GST. Yes. Next one is services by an employee. Employee is giving service to the employer. Very small, somewhere 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 6 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees is their income. In that case, they are not required to take the registration. Otherwise, think Tata, the proud companies mein, blue chip company, Tata company, Tata group, more than 7.5 lakhs of employees. Hats off to Ratan Tata, sir. Okay. More than 7.5 lakhs employees are there in their business, Tata group mein. Now, all these 7.5 lakhs, no, they have to take the registration. No. Why? Because they are giving service. No. Employee is giving service to the employer, then they have to take the registration. Arey bapre, that's why the government told employee, don't worry, you are not your services we are not including in the service. So you are neither doing supply of service, you are not doing supply of goods. So that's why you are out of GST. Next one, bond to bond transfer. Right now, for the time being, what is bond to bond transfer? The goods which have arrived. Example, I did import the goods which have arrived to India, which is there in the port. Now, I don't have money to pay the custom duty. I take some time. I take some time from the custom officers. And meanwhile, I found one buyer for those goods. I sell the goods to that person. This is called as bond to bond transfer. In case, very small explanation it is, not the exact explanation. For exact explanation, we have to go to CA finals. And high seas sale also. What is high seas sale? I hope high seas is spelling is right. Okay. High seas sale. What happens in high seas sales? So goods are sent from other country. Example, South Africa say goods no aa raha hai wo. So it is sailing on the water. It has not entered India. It is still outside India. It is just floating on the water. So in that case, I found one seller. I sold the goods. I sold the goods to that person while the goods are sailing on the water. So now, will this be considered as supply of goods? No, because it has not entered India. It is NTT, non-taxable territory. Now, once it enters India, no, even then bond to bond transfer might happen. So it is not the supply of goods, or neither supply of goods nor supply of service. Clear? Yes. Last one, funeral. Anything related to dead body, that is funeral, crematorium, mortuary, all these things are out of GST. Why, sir? Because, see, a person, a child, no, which has not taken birth. Okay, not taken birth. Many treatments goes on that child. On all these cases, there is GST. Correct, no? After taking birth, we purchase many things for that child, and we will grow up. So after growing up, no, there are many things that we purchase. On all these things, there is GST. After death, arey, please, no, marne ke baad to kuch freedom de do yaar. Huh? We don't want to pay the GST on that. If there is GST on that, this human being, no, very selfish. He won't die only. Huh? GST kodbeku. After dying also, we have to pay the GST. No. We don't pay the GST. So that's why there is no GST on the people. Jokes apart. All these things. Glance best friend. Remember, glance best friend. G for government. L for land and buildings. A for actionable claims. L for land. GLAN. N for entity to entity. C for court. E for employee. B for bond to bond transfer and high seas sale. F for funerals. There are 8 entries which are there on schedule number 3, negative list. So this is, aapko baat pakki hai? Okay. So this is about, now the last part of this chapter, supply chapter, section number 8, composite supply and mixed supply. Now the question is, what is composite supply and mixed supply, sir? First we will discuss what is the meaning of composite supply. Kya hai composite supply? Yes, sir. Composite supply, where there are 2 or more taxable goods are supplied in conjunction with each other. Together we are supplying this. So this is called as composite supply. And one amongst them is principal supply. For example, mobile and charger. So this is what? Composite supply. Why? Because one is main supply, principal supply, and the charger is composite supply. Now in that case, this is composite supply. What is the supply, sir? How to tax it? Point number 2 says that, section number 8, subsection A, which is, in case of composite supply, it will be the supply of principal goods. Now example, mobile ka tax rate is 18% and the value is 20,000. Think. And the charger rate is 28% and the value is 500 rupees. What will be the total now? 20,500 is there, no? This is 20,500. Now on this, what is the charge? GST, what is the rate of GST, sir? 18% or 28%? It is 18%. Why? Because principal goods is mobile phone. Mobile phone is the principal goods. That's why 18% on 20,500. Yes? Okay. Now the question is, sir, what is mixed supply? Same thing, mixed supply. See, there are many things we are putting this together. Now example, Ganesh Chaturthi gift pack. So what will be there in that Ganesh Chaturthi gift pack? One is almonds. Almonds will be there. Cashew nuts will be there. Hair oil will be there. Comb will be there. 5-star chocolate will be there. Can you tell me what is the relation between all these? Nothing. There is no relation. Hair oil and comb might be the one relation. Hair oil and comb, there might be one relation. But I am telling you, to a person who applies hair to his bald head, if you give him the comb, that's why there is no relation here. The one who has no hairs, no, for that person, he might apply the oil, but if you give him the comb, no, definitely he'll get the anger. So that's why, jokes apart, very bad jokes. My students know this kind of jokes. I do it in the class. What is mixed supply? Where two or more taxable goods are supplied, none of them are principal supplies. Okay. Amni is asking question. Sir, in case of iPhones, where we have to purchase charger and phone separately, will it be composite supply? No. When you purchase it separately, see, two goods purchase in conjunction with each other. That means both you have to get it in one pack. Only then it is composite supply. If you are purchasing it separately, there is a separate tax on that. It's not a mixed or composite supply. It is a separate taxation. Separate taxation will be there. If you see the Big Bazaar, if you go to Big Bazaar or Smart Bazaar or this D-Mart, you get one big bill, no? If you see the bill, separate points will be there. Correct. You purchase different items, different points will be there, different tax will be there. It is not neither mixed supply nor composite supply. It is separate supply. What is mixed supply? That has to come in one box and conjunction with each other. So if you purchase mobile phone, they have to put the charger inside that box and they have to give it. So only then it is composite supply. Otherwise, don't consider it as composite supply. It is separate supply. Yes, Avniji? Okay. That is mixed supply. Now, in case of mixed supply, none of them are principal. No, sir. What happens here? Section number 8, subsection B says that in case of mixed supply, it will be considered as supply of the highest rated. For example, in that gift box, almonds were there. Almonds, hair oil was there. 5-star chocolate was there. Now think that on almond 5%. On hair oil, it is 20%. Not 20%, 12%. On chocolate, it is 18%. Now, the whole amount, the gift pack amount was somewhere 500 rupees. What is the GST which is applicable, sir? The highest rate. Out of this, the highest rate is 18%. So what is applicable? Multiplied by 18%. This is mixed supply. So this is about the chapter supply, people. So we have taken too much of time for one chapter. So I hope, people, how it is going? How is it going? Good. You are revising, no? You are able to, recapitulate, or you are able to remember all these things. I'm trying my level best, huh? Yes, no? People, you are my student or you are not my student. That's okay. If you go through all these points, this will definitely help you out. Yes. So now we are going to next unit, chapter, that is registration. See, once I get to know that whether it is supply, yes, sir. Okay. So whether it is supply or not, once we get to know that whether it is supply or not, now I have to start collecting the GST. Sir, everyone need to collect the GST? No, not required. Everyone, all of you, you are not required to take the registration. Then who are required to take the registration? For that, we have to discuss about section number 22. Section number 22, 23 and 24, who are required to take the registration and who are not required to take the registration and who are compulsorily required to take the registration. That we are discussing under section number 22. Very nice. Section number 22, subsection 1. First, we will say that who are the one who is required to take the registration. Especially, very important one is section number 22, subsection 1. Section number 22, subsection 1, who are liable. See, if their aggregate turnover crosses the following limits. Now, sir, what is the meaning of aggregate turnover? Let me tell you what is aggregate turnover. People, what is aggregate turnover? ATO. Remember, you have to include many things here. Taxable supplies, interstate supply, exempt supplies, and export supplies. All these things put together, it is aggregate turnover. What is aggregate turnover? Taxable supplies, interstate supplies, exempt supplies, export supplies. Putting all this together, it is your aggregate turnover, provided you have to deduct. You should not include CGST, SGST, like this. Or I would say that you should not include GST. mat lagao. GST hai na? So that you should not include, excluding GST. And you have to include what? What are the things that you have to include? Outward supplies, outward supplies on which RCM is applicable. But you should not include inward supplies pe on which RCM. See, inward supplies means purchases. RCM means I have to pay to the government. I don't pay to the supplier, but I'll pay to the government. So in that case, sir, this is not my supply. No, array. See, what is turnover? What I sell, no, that is my turnover. When I purchase, how will it become my turnover? No, don't include that in your turnover. Inward supplies means you are purchasing, don't include that. Outward supplies, that means you are selling. In case of your selling on RCM, see, I am selling you some goods, you are the purchaser. On RCM, you are paying it to the government. When you are paying it to the government, no, when you are paying it to the government, it is my supply. Why? Because it is my outward supplies. So in that case, I have to include this in the turnover. It is not your turnover because you purchased it. I am selling it to you. So in that case, it is my turnover, Baba. It is not your turnover. Yes. So that I have to include. This is about aggregate turnover. Simply remember TIEE. TIEE, taxable supplies, interstate supply, exempt supplies, export supplies. Finish? Yes. So now, if your aggregate turnover is more than 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs or 40 lakhs in some cases. Where it is 10 lakhs, sir? If you are a supplier in Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, and Nagaland. If you are the supplier, I am just giving you the crux summary here. Remember this will help you out. Definitely it will help you out. If you are in Manipur, Meghalaya, no, not in Meghalaya, I'm sorry. Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, and Nagaland. So remember that Mami went to Tripura and Nagaland by spending 10 lakh rupees. Finish. Itna sa hi hai. You just have to remember the story. What is the story here? Mami went to Tripura and Nagaland by spending 10 lakhs. That means what? If you are a supplier in Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and Nagaland, then your turnover limit is 10 lakhs. Later, and she came back and Telanganian Upma. What she has done? Upma, you know Upma? The thing that you hate. Upma is nothing but uppittu. In Kannada, it is uppittu. Upma. So she has done Upma, Telanganian style of Upma. I don't know. She went to Tripura and Nagaland and came back and did some Telanganian Upma. I don't know. So now, what is Telanganian Upma? Upmas. UPMAS. U for Uttarakhand, P for Puducherry, M for Meghalaya it is, A for Arunachal Pradesh, S for Sikkim. And Telangana is also there. And she spent 20 lakhs on preparing Upma. Yes, Upma. On preparing Upma, she spent 20 lakh rupees. So remember, Mami went to Tripura and Nagaland by spending 10 lakhs and she did Telanganian Upma in 20 lakh rupees by spending 20 lakh rupees. 10 lakhs and 20 lakhs is done. Clear? Now in other states, no, in case of other states, take it, other state, any other state, it is 20 lakhs if you are supplier of service. If you are supplier of service, then it is 20 lakhs. You can be supplier of goods and service or only service. In that case, it is 20 lakhs. But if you are exclusive supplier of goods, then it is 40 lakhs given in section number 23, subsection 2. Notification. Notification says that if you are exclusive supplier of goods, then you can go for 40 lakhs ka limit. What limit is applicable to you? It is 40 lakhs. 40 lakhs limit is applicable to you. Yes, sir. So this is about section number 22, subsection 1, where Mami went to Tripura and Nagaland by spending 10 lakhs, and she came back by doing Telanganian Upma, that is 20 lakhs. Later, other states, when she went to other state, other states, she spent 40 lakhs. 40 lakhs and 20 lakhs. Keep this in mind. Section number 22, subsection 1. Section number 22, subsection 2. In case of existing business, see, where a person who is liable, if your turnover exceeds, then you are liable to take the registration. Sir, when GST came in 2017, July 1st, 2017 May, GST came. Before that, I was registered under VAT, sir. I was registered under VAT, no? Sir, if I am registered under VAT, then I have to migrate it compulsory to the GST, sir. Yes. You were required to. Right now, this section is of no use. As far as my knowledge is concerned, right now, this section is of no use. But on July, we started with GST. Earlier, there was no GST, there was other taxes. VAT, excise tax was there, service tax was there. All these things were there, no? So that was July 1st ka earlier. So now the question is, 2017 May, the earlier who were registered under previous laws, they had to take compulsory registration. That was, you have to migrate. So that is given here. Person who are registered under the previous act must register under the GST Act. So if you are previous act mein you are registered already, you must take the registration under the GST. Cannot escape. No escape, sir. I have to take the registration. So that is existing business. Next one, if you transfer. Let me tell you one thing. People, very important one, very important one. What is there in GST? Have you seen GST number? Registration number? There are how many digits are there in registration number? Somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 numbers in GST registration. Registration, GST, there are 15 numbers, starting with state code 29. This is in Karnataka. Karnataka state code is 29. After that, 10 digits will be your PAN number. CQPB 4605K. Example, I don't know. Yaradidu PAN number. Whose PAN number is this? Definitely, I don't know. I'm so sorry. It is not my PAN. Okay, I cannot disclose my PAN, no. Simply, why to take panga? That to students. So CQPB 46, there will be 10 digits. PAN will be 10 digits. 10 digits. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hua? Is it? Yeah, man. D. I will take it as D. And 6054K. Okay, it is 10 digits. 10 digits, it will be alphanumerical. PAN will be alphanumerical. So first 4 digits are 1, 2, 3, 4. First, 5 digits. Yeah, first 5 digits are alphabets, and next 4 digits, 6054. This is numeric and 1 alphabet. So how many digits got over? 10 plus 2, 12 digits. Next 3 digits are some checksums, error checksums, some digits will be there. And this is number of registration that you take. Next one, example, in Karnataka, you have T2 registration, 3 registration, 4 registration, like this, 4, 5, 6, like this. You can take many registration, as many registration as possible. Yes, sir, you can take it. But compliance, yeah. So if you take more than 2, 3 registrations, no, every month you have to file 2 returns, GSTR 1, GSTR 3B, 2 returns you have to file. No, very difficult one, headache it is. So later you have 1 numbers here. 1 number will be there. That is Z here, not number. 1 Z will be there and 1 checksum number. So that is what is the calculation, I don't know. But Z will be there. Some these things will be there here. That is 15 digits ka number. Remember this. GST is of 15 digits. Okay. When it comes to, see, transfer, example, I had one business, I have taken the registration, I am transferring the registration to you. Can I transfer the registration as well, Baba? Tomorrow onwards, take this registration. So you can continue with this registration. No, 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 no. It cannot be done. Why? Why? Because my PAN is there. No, Arey Baba, this is my PAN, yaar. So he is using my PAN. Tomorrow, if he does some gotala, that means he does some frauds. Now the police will catch me that the PAN number is your PAN number. So you are the one who is managing the business. You have to pay the fines or you have to be in the jail. So that's why when you are transferring your business, no, the transferee, I am the transferor, you are the transferee, must take the registration, a new registration. See, where the business transferred as going concern, then transferee must get the registration. Transferor, I am transferor, you are transferee, you have to get the registration. Simple है, बात तो पक्की है ना? Yes, sir. Section number 22, subsection 4, in case of amalgamation, same thing. See, A company, company A and company B. Two different companies had two different registration, two different PANs. Two different PAN were there. Now they will amalgamate and they'll become one company. So in that case, their PAN will be different. Amalgamated company PAN is different. If PAN is different, GST registration also be different. Why? Because in PAN, in GST number, there will be PAN. If PAN is going to change, GST number is also going to change. That's why in case of amalgamation, merger, demerger, in all these cases, the other person has to take compulsory registration. In case of amalgamation, merger, demerger, the newly constituted business must get the new registration. पक्की बात है. This is about section number 22, subsection 1, 2, 3. One is of many, much important one, that Mamika story. She went to Tripura and Telangana by Tripura and Nagaland by spending 10 lakhs. And she came back with and did some Telanganian upma by spending 20 lakhs. And later she went to some other states by spending 40 lakhs. This is about section number 22. Now we are going to discuss about section number 23. Section number 23, person who are not liable. Section number 23 is about those who are not liable, sir. Person not liable for registration. Section number 23, subsection 1, clause A. Who are not liable? Person who are exclusively engaged in supply of exempt and taxable goods. Why, yaar? Simply no. Why you have to take the registration? Example, I am selling vegetables, sir. When I am selling vegetables, on vegetables, is there GST? GST on vegetables? No, no. If there is no GST on vegetable, why simply I have to take the registration? I don't collect, I don't pay. Sumne GST registration, chumma GST registration not required. Why? Because it is of no use. Correct. If I'm paying some GST, then yes, Baba. Exclusive supplier. Remember, exclusive supplier of exempt supplies and non-taxable supplies. Now let me tell you what is non-taxable supply, sir. What is non-taxable supply? Section number 9, subsection 2, it is given. Non-taxable supply means what? Non-taxable supplies are those supplies which are out of GST. Section number 9, subsection 1. Section number 9, subsection 1 says that alcoholic liquor for human consumption which is out of GST. And section number 9, subsection 2 says that there are 5 petro products. 5 petro products, that is petroleum crude, motor spirit, high-speed diesel. What is motor spirit? Nothing but petrol, Baba. Petrol. H for high-speed diesel. What is high-speed diesel? Nothing but diesel. And aviation turbine fuel. That means on aircraft, no? To fly the aircraft, you have to put some fuel. That fuel is nothing but aviation turbine fuel. It's not petrol or diesel. Aviation turbine fuel. That aviation turbine fuel out of GST. And lastly, natural gas. PM Han. You know PM Han? Today onwards, you know who is PM Han. PM Han, he is having some alcoholic liquor in his hand. There is one PM Han who is having alcoholic liquor in his hand. This person, PM Han, no, he is out of GST. There is no GST, non-taxable supplies. These are non-taxable supplies. Clear? Yes, these are non-taxable supplies. Supply for exempt and non-taxable goods. That is under section number 23, subsection 1, clause A. Section number 23, subsection 1, clause B. Can you see this guy here? Who is this guy? My favorite guy, farmer. People, Shatakoti pranams to the farmers here, because morning I ate some pulao or something, no? That's because of these legends. These legends, no? Every day we have to pray for the well-being of these farmers. Why well-being of the farmers, sir? Otherwise, if these farmers are not there, what to eat, Baba? Mannu tinbekagbodu. We have to eat mud. Okay, that's why these farmers, no, look at that. His tension is different, no. So look at his face. His tension is literally different. What he is worrying about? He is worrying about the cultivation of the land, the yield of the land. He is worried about that. Government doesn't want to give increase his tension. Tension बढ़ाने का काम नहीं करते हैं हम लोग. So that's why अन्नदाता है वो, देश बंधु है वो. So to Shatakoti pranams to this farmer. And what we do, farmer, my dear farmer, you are out of GST. Section number 23, subsection 1, clause B. Agriculturist, whomsoever you are, sir, agriculturist supplying goods cultivated by himself or his family members or by the labor for wages under the supervision of his or his family members. That means I am doing the work, my family members are doing the work, or might be anyone who is doing the work, but I am supervising. I'll become agriculturist. I am out of GST. No registration not required because farmers' ka tension is different. So their worries are different. We don't want to give them more worries. Let them, concentrate on their work. For that purpose, section number 23, subsection 1, class B, farmers out of GST. And one more thing. That we have done already. Sorry. Section number 23, subsection 1A, section number 23, subsection 1B. Now, section number 23, subsection 2, notifications. There are many notifications which are given by the government who are out of GST. So then in that first one, we already discussed. One who is where it is, 40 lakhs. I'm so sorry, I have not given here. Okay. First one is that already we discussed about 40 lakhs ka guy, no. If you are in other state, if your turnover is less than or equal to 40 lakhs, you don't have to take the GST registration, provided you are exclusive supplier of goods. If you are exclusive supplier of goods, then you are not required to take the registration. That registration. Why? Because if you are exclusive supplier of goods, your returns are very less for that purpose. Some extra concession was given. From 20 lakhs, it increased to 40 lakhs if you are exclusive supplier of goods. Now, what are the goods, sir, that we will discuss? What are the goods which are not under? Okay, let me explain you. You have to remember one story. One story you need to remember. This name of the story is Ice Cream Story. Ice Cream Story of Mr. Pinto. There is one guy, Mr. Pinto. What this Pinto does, he ate ice cream. Very bad guy, huh? This Pinto is very bad guy. Remember this. He ate ice cream. Okay. That he got bored. That did not give him the satisfaction. Later, he ate some pan masala. Very bad guy, no? Pan masala. I'm telling you, people, don't fall for this trap. This is a trap. Zarda, BD, pan masala, cigarette. These things are very trap, people. Please don't fall in that. Your friends are inducing you to do this act. Please do leave that friendship. Not required. I am telling you, I'm not telling they are bad people, but obviously you are wasting your money. Health is also going to, ruin. So the God has given us everything, no. So when the God has given us everything like good health, good wealth, and the eyes are working well, heart is working well, lungs are working well, why to spoil it? Please don't spoil. So that pan masala, he ate pan masala. That did not give him the kick. Very bad guy. He went for cigarette. Okay. He started smoking cigarette. Now it gave him the kick. Cigarette. While smoking cigarette, what do you get? You get some ash. Correct? No? Ash bricks. From that ash, that Pinto did one brick. Ash brick, and he started building the house. No, sir. That ash brick, it was very, low quality ash it is. So that's why that building fell, destroyed. Now he went for building bricks. You know what is building bricks? That red color wala, ittu sa aayega na. Building bricks, a small brick it is. In Kannada, we call it as ittige. Building bricks it is. Building bricks, again, that was low quality building bricks. That also got destroyed. Now he went for fossil bricks. What is fossil bricks, sir? In Kannada, we call it as Kempu Kallu. Fossil bricks, very strong it is. Huh? He went for selling fossil bricks. Now, the building, no, that stood. Okay, it is very strong, mazbooti ka building hai wo. So that stood. And now he has no money to put the slab. What he did? He went for roofing tiles. You know what is roofing tiles? Roofing tiles, it is also made up of mud, and that in Kannada we call it as hanchu, roofing tiles. Okay. So now, if you are the seller of all these goods, section number 23, subsection 2 ka 40 lakhs ka limit. You remember in our Mami and Me, that story? And she went, yeah, no, Mami, not Mami and Me, Mami. Mami went to Tripura and Nagaland. She came back, 20 lakhs ka Telanganayan Upma. Later, she went to some other state, 40 lakhs. That 40 lakhs. If you are exclusive supplier of goods, then 40 lakhs ka limit is available to you. That 40 lakhs ka limit is not available if you are selling these goods. No, 40 lakhs ka limit is not available. Clear? Nice, no? This story, today onwards, you don't forget this story. What has happened? Mr. Pinto, that Pinto, no, what he has done? He purchased ice cream. He ate ice cream. That did not give him the satisfaction. He ate pan masala. That did not give him the kick. He went for smoking the cigarette. So that cigarette did not give him the kick. Later, he got some ashes. He went on collecting the ashes. He did ash bricks. So ash bricks mein building bana di, that building, no, that destroyed. Later he went for building bricks. Building bricks ka building that got destroyed. He went for fossil bricks. Fossil bricks that stood, but he had no money because 2 times the house or building got destroyed. No, for that purpose now he has no money. Sir, I don't go for slabbing. I go for roofing tiles. Finish. If you remember this, all these goods, no, if you are selling, then you are not available for 40 lakhs ka limit. So that is 40 lakhs ka limit. And you are interstate service provider, then 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs as the case may be. In case of Mami, it is 10 lakhs. In other states, it is 20 lakhs. So you don't have to take the registration. Interstate suppliers not required to take the registration until 20 or 10 lakhs. Now you might get the doubt, sir. So it is there in 21, no, section number 22, sorry. Section number 22 mein tha na, sir, ye. So we will do one thing. We will discuss this. All these notifications, no, we will discuss all these notifications with the help of section number 24. Section number 24, compulsory registration. Section number 24 is talking about compulsory registration. Who are required to take the compulsory registration? Simple sa baat hai. If you are interstate supplier of goods or services, you have to take compulsory registration. Are interstate supplier, even 1 rupee sales, no, you have to take compulsory registration. But section number 23, subsection 2, in the previous, this one here, we discussed, see, interstate supplier of services, you are not required to take the registration up to 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs. Clear? Next one, if you are ISD, input service distributors. So who are input service distributor? It is one head office. It is taking all the service, head office, and later it is giving to all the branches. Now, while giving the service to all the branches, it is supplying some input tax as well. It is distributing input tax. So that's why it is input service distributors. Okay. Next one, supplier in e-commerce operator. So think that I am a restaurant guy. Okay, I am a restaurant guy and I am registered in this one, Swiggy. If I am registered in Swiggy, I am the supplier registered in e-commerce operator. So these Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, all these are e-commerce operator. They are doing TCS under section 52. They will be doing TCS under section 52. See, they have to pay me 10,000, but they deduct 1,000 and they pay it to the government on my behalf. So I am getting only 9,000. Actually, how much I have to get? 10,000 rupees. But how much I am getting? 9,000 rupees. What I have to do with 1,000? I have to claim it. To claim it, I have to take the registration. No. Correct. No. How to take the that 1,000 rupees back? You have to take the registration. Government needs to know what is your sales in e-commerce. For that purpose, government is doing this. So that's why you have to, if you are registered under e-commerce, then you have compulsorily you have to take the registration. Yes. Next one, person liable to pay under RCM. Baba, see, you are selling me some goods, and who am I now? I am the recipient. You are the supplier. You are selling me some goods on which, example, this goods. You are selling me these goods on which there is RCM which is applicable. You are selling me the goods on which RCM is applicable, so that I have to pay you only the amount of these goods, and other GST amount, no, I have to pay it to the government. To pay it to the government, how to pay? I go to government, knocking the door, knock, knock. This is your GST. So take this GST. I cannot do, no. RCM means I have to pay under reverse charge mechanism. To pay under reverse charge mechanism, I have to have the registration. This registration, compulsorily, I have to take it. Otherwise, how to pay? Not possible, no. Yes. Sir, can you please explain the Pinto case again? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Just give me a time. Give me some time. Huh? So person liable to pay under RCM. So if I am supplying some goods to you, if I am supplying some goods to you on which RCM is applicable, who are the buyer? You are the buyer now. In this example, currently now, I just gave you example. I sold these goods to you on which RCM is applicable. You are the buyer. If you are the buyer, you have to pay under RCM. You have to pay the amount under RCM. If you are not registered, how to pay under RCM? Not possible. No, that's why you have to pay under RCM. You have to take the registration, compulsory registration. Same way, OIDAR services. What is OIDAR? Online Information Database Access and Retrieval. OIDAR, Online Information Database Access and Retrieval. If you are OIDAR services, in that case, you have to take the compulsory registration, provided you are giving services to the unregistered person. Now, example, what is this OIDAR? Example, Amazon Prime or Netflix. Netflix, what they are doing? Online, they are giving some data or information, and we can access it and we can retrieve it, enjoy. So this is Netflix example. In case of Netflix, what happens now? They are giving services to the many participants in India, to the many members in India. Now, government is losing a huge amount of money because we are paying to the Netflix. Netflix is not registered in India, but the users are in India. Government is losing money, no? What government told now? OIDR, you can do the business here. If you are selling to the unregistered person, if you are selling it to the unregistered person, then you have to take the registration, pay the GST. If you are paying to the registered person, don't worry, we will catch registered person. They have to pay under RCM. Why? Section number 7, subsection 1, clause B, importation of services for a consideration, whether or not for business purpose. Here, people, what I just told you now, see, OIDAR services. If you take Netflix, no, then you are importing the service. If you are importing the service, then you have to pay under RCM, no. Section number 7, subsection 1, clause B. You have to pay under RCM. My question is, if you are paying under RCM, Baba, when you are paying under RCM, you have to take compulsory registration, no. You are taking Netflix services, you have to take compulsory registration, where we discuss, sir, here, yahan, person liable to pay under RCM, he has to take compulsory registration. No, sir, not possible, sir. I'm a small guy, papa guy, don't, please leave me, sir. So in that case, government said, okay, Baba. Now what government will do? OIDR services, they are giving services, no? You have to take compulsory registration. If you are taking OIDR service Netflix, you have to take compulsory registration if you are giving services to the unregistered person. So giving services to unregistered person, OIDR services, giving services to unregistered person. Yes. Next one is in case of TDS deductors and TCS collectors. Simple sa cheez, simple si baat. I am paying you some amount. TDS under GST, not your DT. DT ka this TDS nahi hai ye. So now government departments, no, they have to do TDS. TCS will be done by e-commerce. That you have to study section number 51, section number 52. You will study this in CA finals. You are going to study this in CA finals. That's why there you will study about this. Here not required. Okay. Who is TDS deductor? Government departments. Now government department, they are deducting the TDS. Now what they have to do? They have to pay it on my behalf in the GST portal. No. How to pay it? Take the registration, pay it. TCS collectors. They are also collecting some amount, extra amount from me. They have to pay it to the government. How they pay it to the government? Take the registration, pay it to the government. Finish. Compulsory registration for TDS deductors, TCS collectors. Same way, agent, where principal is registered. Correct? No. If I am agent, my principal is registered. Remember that I have to take compulsory registration for ITC purpose. For ITC purpose, I have to take the compulsory registration. Next one is aggregators under section 9 subsection 4. I am so sorry. Aggregators are not under section 9 subsection 4. It is 9 subsection 5. Who are aggregators, sir? Now accommodation service, your rooms, accommodation service, they are giving some accommodation services, and Ola, they are giving transportation services. This Uber, no, what is this? Urban Clap, they are giving housekeeping services. All these are aggregators. So they have to take compulsory registration. Why compulsory registration? About this you will study in CA finals. Right now I just gave you some idea. Housekeeping services, transportation services, and accommodation services. These three guys know. Example, Ola, Oyo, and the other one is transportation, housekeeping, Urban Clap. These three guys know they have to take the registration, compulsory registration, because they are paying under RCM. Section number 9, subsection 1 and 2 is FCM. Section number 9, subsection 3, 4 and 5 is under RCM. Yes. NRTP. Who is NRTP? Non-resident taxable person. NRTP is non-resident taxable person. That means he is non-resident. NRTP coming inside, he has to take the compulsory registration. And CTP also. You have to take compulsory registration. CTP also requires to take compulsory registration. Why compulsory registration, sir? Because he is coming into other state and he is doing some business. Who is CTP? Casual taxable person. What is casual taxable person? He is coming into other state where he has no permanent establishment. So if he has no permanent establishment, in that case, he cannot do the act without any registration. Registration is required. And even in case of NRTP, he is coming from other non-resident taxable person. What is NRTP? Non-resident taxable person. He is coming from other state to this state. Other country to this country. In that case, he has to take compulsory registration. So how to remember this, sir? How I remember? It is, so in ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, they have one tank. Tank ide. So they in their building, no, they have one tank. You remember ISRO, TANC it is, not K, it is C. ISRO tank. Remember ISRO tank? So that ISRO tank will help you to remember this. So what I stands for? Interstate supplier and ISD. S for supplier in e-commerce operator. R for RCM, the person who is liable to pay under RCM, he has to take the compulsory registration. O for OIDR services. TDS, T for TDS and TCS, TDS deductor and TCS collectors. A for agent and aggregators. N for NRTP, C for CTP. All these people, they have to take compulsory registration. But in case of CTP, no, if you are handicraft goods wala guy, then you have 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs ka turnover limit. You don't have to take the registration till 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Only for handicraft goods. And even in case of interstate suppliers, no, if you are service provider, and you are handicraft goods wala provider, in this case, you don't have to take registration till 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs as the case may be. So where it is given, sir? Section number, see here, 23 subsection 2, handicraft goods supplier, interstate handicraft goods supplier, CTP supplying handicraft goods up to 10 or 20 lakhs. For them, till 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs, GST registration is not required. Compulsory registration may it is given, but later notification is given in section number 23 subsection 2. You are not required to take the registration. So this is about section number 24. And lastly, section number 25. We'll do it fast. You have time, no? Somewhere 10 minutes, huh? Extra 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, people. Okay. So anyhow, you are getting this recorded version. So you can, if you have college or anything, then you can, okay, for some time, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, huh? Okay, fast. Section number 25, that is registration ka procedure. We are discussing about procedure of registration. Simple si baat hai ye. Very simple one. See, if section number 25 subsection 1 says that TP, taxable person, must get the registration within 30 days. Within apply, you have to apply within 30 days. Then you will get the RTI. What is RTI? Not right to information. It is revised tax invoice. You get the option of revised tax invoice if you are taking registration, applying for registration within 30 days. Next one, second point says that CTP, NRTP, no, within 5 days of their commencement of the business. So now Udupi Utsav is going to start from 10th of 10th of October. Now before that, 10th of, if I'm starting business on 10th of October, then by 5th of October, I should apply for the registration. And I have to pay the GST as well. GST, that is estimated GST also. That also I need to pay now. Third point says that business in territorial waters. Now, India is there. There is territorial water. So which state? Sir, I have an oil rig. I am extracting oil. Okay. I am extracting the oil from the sea. So now in this case, sir, where I have to take the registration? In sea. I have to take the registration in ocean? No. Where I have to take the registration? The nearest baseline. If it is near to Mumbai, I have to take registration in Mumbai. If it is near to Gujarat, I have to take registration in Gujarat. If it is near to Andhra Pradesh or Kerala, then I have to take registration in Kerala, like this. So that is point number 3. Point number 4 is that business in SEZ. Business SEZ, no? Special Economic Zone. Example, Karnataka, mein, there is one SEZ and there are other parts of the Karnataka. I have 2 branches. One is in SEZ, one is in other places. In SEZ, compulsorily I have to take separate registration. I cannot merge that registration with this registration. Normal registration के साथ merge नहीं कर सकते हैं. You have to take separate registration. So this is section number 25, subsection 1 ka important point. What is section number 25, subsection 2? Easy one. A TP can take more than 2 registration. He can take 2 branches are there, sir. I want to take 2 registration in one state. Possible? Yes. Optional it is. You can take 2 registration. That is section number 25, subsection 2. Section number 25, subsection 3, Mamu section it is. Mamu bana diya. So what is Mamu section? Mamu section is nothing but Munna bhai. पता है कौन है मुन्ना भाई? हाँ, the biggest don. हाँ. मुन्ना भाई मामू बना दिया ना. So that means you are not liable under section 22, 24. I am not liable under section 22. That means my registration के लिए aggregate turnover has not crossed 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs or 40 lakhs, sir. But still I want to take the registration. अरे कौन रोकेगा आपको? ले लो registration. You can take the registration under section 25, subsection 3. Says that voluntary registration. Can I take voluntary registration, sir? Yes. देश मेरा है, लेना है मुझे registration. अरे ले लो, कौन रोकेगा आपको? You can take it under section 25, subsection 3. Next one is section number 25, subsection 4 and 5 that we already discussed. What is section number 25, subsection 4? It is if you have 2 registration, then you are the one person, you are 2 branches, 2 registrations are there. Can I take 2 separate registration? Yes, obviously you can take 2 separate registration. Who is going to stop you? Yes. In case you take 2 registrations, as per section number 25, subsection 3, you have taken 2 registration. Or section number 25, subsection 2 pe, voluntarily you have taken 2 registration. Now, who is going to stop you? You have not stopped. You have not stopped by the GST Act. Now you can take the registration. You have taken the registration. Now you will be considered as deemed distinct person. That is under section 25, subsection 4. Section number 25, subsection 5 state that. 1 minute. Yeah. Section number 25, subsection 5. If a person has registered registration in one state and an establishment in other state, that means that is not registered. Because of the state border, no, you have one registration in Karnataka, there is one more branch in Kerala, but there is no registration. In this case, these two will be considered as deemed distinct person, even though you don't have registration. Next one, section number 25, subsection 6, PAN is mandatory. Why PAN is required, sir? We discussed already. One GST number means there are 15 digits in that. 15 characters are there in that. After 2 characters, that is state code. After 2 characters, there are 10 codes here. What is that 10 numbers? That is PAN. So you have a PAN here. This PAN is nothing but when PAN is required, that means PAN is required. No. So without PAN, you cannot take the registration. But section number 25(7) says that, sir, I am NRTP, non-resident taxable person. In that case, am I required to take the registration by giving a PAN? I don't have PAN, sir. What to do, sir? Don't worry. If you don't have PAN, then you have to submit some other documents. What are other documents? It can be your passport. Example, passport. Give the passport in lieu of PAN. No. Finish. So you are getting the registration. You will get the registration. Section number 25, subsection 8 is about suo motu registration. Suo motu registration. What is suo motu? Actually, you are liable under section 22 and 24. You are liable under section 22, 24, but you are not taking the registration. In that case, government will get to know about this proper officer on your behalf. He will take the registration. He will give you the registration. Now you have to bear that. That is suo motu registration, section number 25, subsection 8. Basically, in suo motu registration, no, you have to take the registration. If you don't take the registration, he will do some act. So in GST, GST REG 12, if I'm not wrong, in GST REG 12, no, he will do the registration and he will send you the notice. Within 90 days, you have to get the registration or you have to appeal. Why you are not required to take the registration? For that purpose, you have to appeal. If you appeal, no, then you can wait for the order. Think you got the order. You got the order. Within next 30 days, you have to apply for the registration if you are losing the case. If you won the case, you don't have to take the registration. Yes, this is about section number 25, subsection 8. Important sections. Now, lastly, we are done with this. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you the torture. Just 2 minutes, huh? Here, other provision, section number 26. What is deemed registration? If you are registered under CGST, SGST, you are registered under HGST, that means you are automatically registered under CGST. If your registration has been cancelled in SGST, then automatically cancelled in CGST. Simple as that. That is section number 26. Section number 27 is about CTP, NRTP. How to take the registration? We know that within 5 working days. Within 5 days prior to the commencement of your business, within 5 days, no, you have to take the registration, apply for the registration. That application with payment, you have to do the payment as well. That is given here in CTP, NRTP. Sir, can I extend? Usually you will get the registration for 90 days. Can I extend for extra 90 days, sir? Yes, you can extend. So that is about CTP and NRTP. Next one, amendment. Section number 28 is about amendment. You are changing some registration. You have taken the registration and you want to change something in the registration. You have to do the amendments here. So how to do the amendment? Within 15 days of changes. Within 15 days of changes which has happened, you have to take the amendments. There are 2 fields now. One is core field amendment. That means you are changing the name of the business, partners in the business. These are the core fields. So if you are changing that, you have to take the approval of the PO. But in case of non-core fields, there is something called as non-core fields. In case of non-core fields, it is immediately. See, non-core field mein immediate changes will happen. You don't have to wait. But in case of core fields, example, you are changing the business name, you are changing the partners, the constitution of the business, that is changing. In that case, you have to take the approval of the PO. So 15 days mein you will apply within next 15 working days. See, within 15 days, you will apply. Within next 15 working days, you will get the notice. Under GST RAG 03, that is for show cause notice. So they will be asking some explanation. You have to give the explanation. If that is not there, then you have to go under section, they might give you GST RAG 05 in rejection. So they might give you the rejection as well. We are rejecting. That is amendment ka case. And last but one, it is cancellation. Sir, I want to, cancellation can be done by 3 people. One is officer. You are doing some gotala, officer is doing the cancellation. Or it can be done by you yourself. Sir, I don't want to do the business, sir. I want to stop the business. Can I take cancellation, sir? Yes, you can go for cancellation, apply for cancellation in GST REG 16. You have to take the cancellation. Third one, sir, can it be cancelled by anyone else? Yes, it can be cancelled by others such as your legal heirs. Now, example, Mr. X is there. Mr. X died. When Mr. X dies, no, his legal heir, they don't want to take the registration forward. They want to cancel the business. They can cancel the registration. The 3 people, one is PO, proper officer. The second one is me, being myself. The third one is about, who is the third one? The third guy is legal heir. That is for cancellation. Within 30 days, you will get the order. Within 30 days, you have to get the registration getting cancelled. Next one is revocation. Now, when you can revoke for cancellation, sir, I am the registered person. I have applied for registration. I got the cancellation. Can I revoke the cancellation? No. When you cannot revoke the cancellation, you applied for cancellation, you got the cancellation. Now you want to revoke? No, not possible. You cannot revoke the cancellation. Please do remember that. When can be revoked? What is the meaning of revocation? Taking back. Applying for the registration to get it was cancelled, no? So I want to take the registration back. I want the registration back, sir. If you are applying for cancellation, you applied for the cancellation, it got rejected. I mean, it got cancelled. Registration got cancelled. Now I want to take the registration. I mean, you only apply for the registration to revoke. Not possible. Then when can be revoked? If PO is cancelling the registration, proper officer cancelled your registration, you want to take it back. In that case, you can go for it. So you can go for revocation within 30 days of cancellation. Possible? Yes, sir. It is possible. Yes, people. That was about chapter registration. Tomorrow, we are going to continue with composition and charge of GST like this. There are some points here. I had to finish it today, but I couldn't because of some, little delay. Tomorrow, I'll be going little fast. Okay. Just wait for the next video. Kiran, Pinto ka case, you just listen to the recorded class again. If there is no clarity, you just let me know. I'll clear it out. Okay, people, that's all for today's session. Tomorrow we are going to continue with the charge and other points here. Some important points in charge of GST, and later we will be going for time of supply, value of supply, all these things. Easy sections that we are doing it tomorrow. Okay. Until then, people, keep stay tuned. So for Trisha classes, thanks for, first of all, I'm so sorry. I forgot to give my introduction. No, my name is Nagendra Bhaktha. I'm a chartered accountant, practicing chartered accountant. My place is Hebli. We'll do it tomorrow sharply by 7 o'clock. Until then, stay tuned, people. Love you all. Bye-bye.